Welcome, y'all, to YouTube time and coffee time with Madison Christine. This video is truly devoted, you guys, to all you dreamers. I'm going to talk about anchored dreamers, creatives, sensitives, anyone that's truly committed to this time of wake up and what it means to truly honor the nature, the natural forces of life within and out side of us, which they're all connected when we get in touch with that. And it's going to be a bit of a part two to my last video talking about patterns versus life force. There's so much juice in this one, you guys. And I have quite an feeling of urgency and conviction in this area to speak to just through the natural waterfall coming through and want to be part of that voice. And I know, thank you to all of you, whether you're writers, authors, dancers, creatives that are also sharing this in your own unique, beautiful ways. We're all part of that flow, and I just truly honor that. So I want to also just recognize, like I did in the last YouTube, you guys, the massive control that we have been in. I mean, for generations. But again, we see it in religions, we see it in politics, we see it in psychology, that there's just these, ways of doing things that are now outdated for the coding and DNA within us that's shifting. You guys, our DNA is shifting if we don't control it. It's up to us. This is science. And I don't know about you, whoever's watching, to me, that is just freaking fucking fascinating. And to get onto and to connect to and to get intimate with, it is nothing short of a miracle. Do you realize how powerful you are and how powerful we are? So the whole concept of dreaming, what are you dreaming in your life? And I'm not talking about that airy-fairy, dissociated, not being in that sense of grounded reality. I'm talking about being grounded and realizing your power, realizing your creative force, and what that means in this world, and what that means in changing this world and impacting this world and in evolving this experience. Remember, you guys, our bodies are the most incredible machinery, way beyond the technology we use that we depend on. And if we take time to connect, we will find all of the answers in here. It's old school to constantly go outside of ourselves. I know that's really hard for that ego part of us or part of you that almost can feel a panic because we've been so taught to leave our bodies or to go outside of who we really are, to go against the nature. I mean, the beauty of a waterfall and the power of a waterfall is there's no obstacle it's not going to find a way through. And the way it flows is effortless and full of grace, even if it's freaking fierce, right? We are those forces of nature. And if we choose to harmonize with that, watch what happens. Watch what happens. You guys, we are in a world that has tried to shut our voices off, shut us down, keep us in a 9 to 5, keep us depressed. Oh, then we go to the pharmacy or you go to the therapist that you just do the same thing over and over, or you're spending your whole life judging up the past, finding an addiction to suffering. It's a never-ending cycle if we don't get ourselves out of it. Our true nature is happiness. Meaning, it doesn't mean we don't have pain or we don't have things throughout the day, but it means we're connected to that loving life force that tells us that it's all going to be okay and it's only going to be going in a positive direction. It's so palpable and powerful. And when I speak about this is from my own experience of this. This is not, oh, some book said this. In fact, I purposely choose not to take in too much information, to be in the pure channel that wants to come through. And I stay open to what falls on my lap. Again, staying in the natural process of that. It's fucking amazing. It's so sexy. It's so sensual. It's so colorful. We are meant to have an amazing life here, you guys. There's been so much focus in the religious world on heaven. So when we die, we're happy. Like, what the hell is that about? Right? Yes, it's a passion point. So what are you dreaming? What are you in love with? What what inspires you? What invigorates you? What is something that feels so wrong that's so right for you? Check those beliefs, check those thoughts that are keeping you in a cycle of I can't, I shouldn't, oh my God, my religion says I shouldn't do this. And then check in your pure self. Is this coming from a pure desire? Is it repeating itself through desire? Is it showing up in your writing if you're a writer or you're journaling? You get to have what you want. And I'm not trying to sound like those law of attraction weirdos where, sorry, I am judging it. And by the way, we are humans and we do judge, and there is perception and there is all of that. Because that's an old paradigm too, you guys, that we're guilted into this forgiveness stuff. We're guilted into constantly feeling shitty about ourselves. And just check in on that. Check in on where the control systems have you and what your pure true heart wants, desires. Where do those beliefs come from? Do they come from your past? Do they come from your ancestry? Check those out and find out who you are and what you want if you want to have an awakened, free life. So this topic is so important and it's so powerful. So cheers to all you dreamers that are really waking up to every thought that's going on and checking in and getting curious so that it's not controlling you. Don't let your mind fuck with you, because it will. We were born into very controlling DNA and we're in a process of changing that. And I know this is a leading edge sort of conversation. Some people might think it's crazy. Until you actually experience it, I'd be careful about judging any of it. Look outside. We are that. We've disconnected so sadly and tragically. We need to connect back here so we can connect to who we are in this natural force of life. So take that shit and smoke it. All right, you guys, it's not shit though, it's powerful stuff. So I just send so much love. Again, I like to say the real kinds, and you just find your power, remember your power and your creative force, and don't let anyone control you. Don't compromise yourself. So that's it for now, you guys. Cheers. I'll meet y'all on the flip.